Hey folks, Stronghold Crafter Kev here with another video. Welcome to my channel. And in this video we're going to, this is going to be a tutorial. And I'm going to show you how to make a castle wall out of foam. Yes! So, feel free to subscribe. I have a lot more things coming in the channel. And if you are a subscriber, thank you! Really appreciate it. For more information on my craft, visit my website, which is strongholdsfantasy.com. And just so you know, this series is going to be a multi-part tutorial. It's not going to be a quick 5-10 minute tutorial. If you've watched some of my other tutorials, you'll notice that I'm very detailed in how I do it, that sort of thing. So bear that in mind. I want to make sure that there's no question about how I get it done. Okay? And I'll see you in a bit. Hey folks, welcome to my tutorial on how to make a castle wall out of foam. Okay, before we begin, I'm going to go through a step-by-step process as to what I do with crafting practically anything. Okay, so of course we're going to go into this first part, the design element, but I'm going to briefly talk about what all these steps include. The design, of course, you're going to have to come up with, okay, what's your wall going to look like? And we have, you have to cut the foam, and then obviously after cutting the foam, knowing what your design dimensions are and stuff, we move on to detailing. Detailing, briefly, is doing the carving, basically. Do you want it to look like stonework? Do you want it to be bricks? Stuff like that. Assembling. Obviously you're going to be having parts to glue together, so that pretty much covers that part in particular. Check. When I build certain things, sometimes I can't do all the detailing at once until certain parts are fastened together. Then I may have to go back and recarve stuff, or something may be a little bit off and I may need to sand it down. So I put that step in before I go to painting, which is painting is pretty much, it's done the way I like it, I'm satisfied with it, and I move on to the base coat and then the final coat as to what I want it to be, unless I'm doing multicolored stuff, where you get the idea. And then finish could be I'm done with the painting and it's done. Or it could have some additional element that has to be added on to, but only after it's painted first. Like some kind of hard reach area has to be painted first before you can tack on an additional piece that would be more of a bear to paint if you had the part in front of the hard reach area. Anyway, we will go on from here. Now, and the paper does not want to come off. There we go. Alright. So, I'll tell you what we're talking about here. Alright. Let's say you want to build a stronghold. And let's see if I can focus this in a little bit closer. Aha. That's a little bit better. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all of this, but basically I have some towers already built, but I'm focusing on walls right now. So I need to build a wall here. I need to build a wall here. I need a wall here, here, here. And so I know what, this is where I'm getting into the dimensions. From looking at my overall design element, I know how long the walls have to be. And I'll just get out of that. And we'll go on to the next part here. Okay, looking good. Alright. Well, with dimensions, you need to know your length, you need to know your height, and you need to know your width. In this case, not to get too detailed, I need a wall that is 7 inches long, and at its highest point it's going to be 6 inches high at this point here. When I cut it in pieces, you'll see more of how it fits together and why I have certain measurements the way they are. But anyway, that pretty much covers the dimensions. And then with castle walls, because they're a castle wall, they're going to have defenses built into them. So you have to think about the crenellations, which are, some people call them the notches, for lack of a better term. But basically you have these things in them that stand out, which are the merlons. And then you have the trim elements. But anyway, with the merlons, they vary from castle design to castle design. They can be tall and skinny. They can be wide. They can have some have arrow slits in the middle. I think they're more of a preference design element more than anything else. It all depends on, you can make them even skinnier than this and have more soldiers in between the merlons shooting out. They're usually used for somewhat of some protection against arrows and stuff, but it all depends on what you want. Like I said, I prefer to have less soldiers in the firing areas and to have a little bit of protection for them, like duck behind, if at all possible. But like I said, it's more of a preference in design. With the wall thickness, I wanted to go with something that would be that could handle, the base of my miniatures. Now these are pretty big bases, but you get the point here. They can actually freely run across them. Okay. And with and like I said, there's the trim, the wall decoration. Some people just go with something simple like this, or some kind of like a reverse crenellation, if you will. It all depends. Now we'll go to the next part here. So that was the front view, and let's make sure this is in frame. Okay, it's a little bit out of frame here. Okay, well, here's a side view actually. I'll just show that to you first. This is how wide the wall is, and I have a line here because I'm using two different materials for the stonework, and it'll make more sense when you see the foam cut. And this part here is the trim element, and I have the crenellation here. All right, and the back pretty much looks like the front, except there's no decoration here. Now, this wall is pretty plain, but you can have elements here like a staircase, or you can have a building here that takes up part of the wall space. It all depends. But basically, this X here marks the level of where the figures would be standing on. So if you will, I'll just put a figure. He'd be on that level right there, and see, you can see how he'd be, like that. So and that's all there is to it.